Welcome back to Leafolution. In this space, I work to reconnect us to Gaia, to anchor us into our heart space, and to remind us of our unity. I was doing a reading a little bit earlier, and I had a very, very strong feeling after completing that reading that I needed to channel a message for Sirian Starseeds. So that is the purpose of this reading. I will still, of course, show you guys the area. I'll do that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get into the reading. Okay, so message please for Sirian Starseeds. So at the very top of our pile we have Thursaz, lightning and change, illumination in the dark. We have Sawelo, the sun, complete illumination, dependable, reliable energy. And we have Isa, ice, stasis, surety, steadfastness, but also close-mindedness, and inability to see other perspectives. So we have change and fluctuation. We have 2 fire elements and 1 water element, so movement in our energy body. There is a stillness or a stuckness in the emotion body. So there is something about processing the feelings of a situation that are meeting a lot of resistance right now. And anytime that there is resistance in the emotion body, especially when it is to the point of being frozen, we then run into issues of slipping. We can't even gain our ground. That is how we think we're on control. We think that we're standing on top. But movement, when we try to move in that space, all we do is fall. So there is that caution of making sure and finding a way to emotionally ground, to stabilize emotional swings. We have Ingwas sitting on top of Awas. Ingwas is our seed energy. New beginnings, also fire element. Awas is representation of Yggdrasil, the world tree, the tree of life, the connection between all realms. And so this calls for a sense of alignment, a necessity to make sure that all centers are spinning appropriately and working cooperatively with one another. So again, going back to this, making sure that emotional balance is being cultivated and maintained. And it is through maintaining that balance that new ways of existing, new ideas, new concepts will take root. They will begin to grow when we do that. Next to both of those, we have Berkana, the birch tree, which is our feminine tree energy. So this carries with it a wisdom, a nurturing, a sense that you are taken care of, that your needs and desires will be honored. There is that sense of an honoring of what you want, what you need, because your emotions are just as much a part of your overall being as any other part of you. So we have that support energy. Additionally, we have Elhaz. This is our rune of protection. This is our rune that pulls in energies from angelic realms. It pulls in protection for picking us up again when we fall down in an untimely fashion. It is a sense that as we go through growing pains, as we are recalibrating in that vulnerable space of recalibrating and rebalancing the emotion system, we are okay. We are being looked after in a very cosmic sense, in a very celestial sense. Guides and guardians, angels, they are with us and they are helping us during these changes and recalibrations. We also have Laguz, representing the lake. This is very much tied into our emotion body. It is tied into that point where you can choose to move into the unconscious mind and work with the information that is found there. So you can stay at the conscious level and work within all of those functions, but there is also the ability to tap into the subconscious, and in that realm we are able to access other information, other energy, other support in a very different way. So Laguz coming out in this particular reading is a reminder that when you feel separated or disconnected from your star families, when you are feeling disconnected and you feel like you don't want to be here and that Earth is not the place for you, this is a reminder that you have more resources at your disposal than you are currently allowing yourself to recognize. So taking a step back and looking at that larger overall picture, and remembering the abilities that you have, the beautiful abilities that you have. We also have Tiwaz. This is our war energy. So this is a sense that there is some sort of internal conflict. However, Tiwaz is more than the energy of war. It is the energy of balance and justice, the energy of sacrifice for the good of the whole. So with Tiwaz coming out, we have these protection mechanisms in place. And there is an awareness that the work that you put in, the things that you're going through that feel challenging, that feel stressful, the things where you are struggling to connect the purpose with the current state of existence, Tiwaz is reminding you that you are still connected and that the work you have done has not gone unnoticed. The work that you are doing is powerful and important. And it is a reminder that your sacrifices, the things that you have given up to be here to do the work you're doing, are all temporary. It is all temporary. So the things that you are longing for, the things that you've missed, the things that don't exist here in the earth plane, Tiwaz is reminding you that everything is a component of the whole. And so your work here, your existence here, is simply that. It is a piece of the whole. And it is, again, important to remember to align and integrate. Integration is going to be really important for balancing out these emotions. We have Hagalaz, which is further confirmation of emotional turmoil. There is conflict between the mental body and the emotion body. There is an understanding, though, that when hail settles down, when it calms, it does return to a state of flow, and it does help then nourish the environment around it. So these emotional pains that you are going through, because that is what is coming through loud and clear, is there is emotional pain. And there is a frustration and a not understanding why. And so so far this reading is telling us, Gaia is telling us, that it is all part of integration. It is all part of a cycle, and it will not, the cycles happen in order for us to grow. And not every part of every cycle is always comfortable, but that is okay. In those moments of discomfort, in those moments of frustration, take a moment to look around you and just find one thing that fascinates you. One thing about Earth, about the Earth plane, about humanity, animals, plant life. And just find one thing that really just dazzles you because it is miraculous and it exists here in this time and this space. That is the point of all of this. And as you do that, Gabo is reminding you that there is treasure in that. There is beauty in that. And the way that you find this beauty is not by being in solitude and not by holding everything and shouldering everything yourself. Part of this emotional balancing is making sure that you are reaching out and connecting with communities, making sure that you are part of something bigger than yourself, something that will help give you purpose in terms of a way to anchor, a way to gain direction. And that is how you will be able to move forward. And when you do this, the gifts that you start to see around you will just be absolutely fulfilling. Just a pure sense of fulfillment. We also had Manas coming out. And Manas is our rune of humanity. It is the rune of unity. So another confirmation that being human does not separate you from the divine. If you are feeling that way, this is a reminder that that is an illusion. Humanity is an expression of the divine, and working together is how we affect change. So moving back to that unity, understanding that what you're experiencing, what you are living, is an expression of the divine. You are not separated from it. You are part of it. Your task is to remember it. To remember that you are part of everything. And that perhaps is why you feel things so strongly at times. Okay. We also have, so Ansu's was here at the very bottom. Ansu's is our communication. Ansu's represents Odin. It represents Hermes. It represents that type of Mercury, that type of communication energy. The energy that thoughts need to be shared, ideas need to be shared. Part of this is feelings. Feelings and emotions need to be shared. They are expressed individually and collectively. But if you are stuck, like Isa was showing earlier, if you're stuck in the emotions and you can't move, and then when you try to move, as we saw with Hagalaz, and you're still, it's causing more destruction than it is growth, Ansu's is reminding us to really take time to listen to what our feelings are saying. Really listen to what it means when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling happy. Why are you feeling happy? Why are you feeling frustrated? Why are you feeling content? Like even those moments of contentment when we don't have those extremes. Listen to those. That is part of communication. That is part of how you are connecting with humanity, with Gaia, with the universe, with your star families. We have Kenaz, which is the torch energy. So this is confirmation that you have the ability to light your path when you are lost. And this is a reminder that when you light your path and you are helping find your own way, others can then see your light. And they are then drawn to that. And when we group together, when we have small torches, we are easier to see for others to find us. So this is about remembering that you have the light within you. And when you anchor into that, when you are honest about that, you help become a beacon for others. And we have Nades, which is the Rune of Fate. It is tied into the 3 Norns, the Weavers of Fate, who reside at the base of Yggdrasil. So this coming out reminds us that there are certain key paths that we are meant to walk in this lifetime. There are certain lessons that we are meant to learn. There are certain groups that we're meant to be a part of. There are certain things that we're meant to teach others. So there is a sense of responsibility coming through by Nades showing up. It's a reminder that you are not alone, and the things you do are not just for your benefit and to your end. So there is a need to remember that you grounding yourself in and balancing yourself is important for the overall well-being of everyone. That is not to say that it has to be at the cost of yourself. That is coming through as really important right now. That with these emotions and with this this chaotic, I don't want to call it balance because it needs to be balanced, but there's a chaotic energy. So with this happening, Nodis is coming in and it's reminding you that yes, there are lessons, there are things that are meant to be learned in this lifetime, things that are meant to be accomplished, but you still have free will. This is a free will realm, and you get to make choices, the smallest choices. What shoes do you want to wear today? When do you want to have lunch? These small choices help bring you back into the moment, and they can help you see the beauty in the mundane. And that is part, I think, of what will help get you out of this space of homesickness, almost, is what it feels like. That's what it feels like, is homesickness. I didn't have a word for it until just now, but that's the feeling. So it's okay to be homesick. It's okay to miss where you are from. But don't let that take away your power of being a powerful co-creator here in this plane on Earth. Being a powerful co-creator with every other being, with all other energy here in this realm. We also have Oruz coming out, and Oruz is our rune of strength. So you have protection and you have strength, and you are the light. There's so much positive reinforcement in this message as well, that it's there, the growth, the support, the protection, the strength. Your creativity is in Oruz. The beautiful things that you can create, that only you bring because of your unique expression. Don't underestimate the beauty that you bring. And the final rune that we have is Fehu. And Fehu is about wealth. Fehu is our resources, our liquid, movable resources. So coming at the end of the message is a reminder that you have resources at your disposal. Use them. You don't have to do this all alone. You're not meant to do it alone. Resources may come from things, they may come from situations, they may come from other people. They may come from ideas. They may come from those moments where you're sitting in stillness with yourself and you have that insight reach you. You have a wealth of resources at your disposal, and you have the power and the ability to balance this and to give hope again. The hope is never gone. The hope was never lost. You just couldn't see it for a little while. But it's there. So that's what this message is for you guys. And it just really, really strongly needed to be expressed. It needed to be shared. So I hope that when you are needing this message, that you find it. Because you need to know that you're not alone. You need to know that you're powerful, that you're beautiful, that your creations matter. You are amazing.